So continue with our Friday afternoon class Halachot or Brachot. Today class number 8. Right, let's start. So start with Sefer Shmiras Halashon. Okay. What a topic. Idle conversations. Distinguished Torah scholar offered the following advice. On Shabbos afternoon in the summertime, when Shalosh Seudas often ends well before the dark, and people go outside to enjoy the fresh air, never stand outside a synagogue or study hall and carry on a conversation with someone. So basically, as we said many times, if you know there is a trap, there are people, empty people, they're going to stand there and they want to waste time. So, okay, don't be there. And such a conversation to take place, what usually happens is that the two people are joined by the third and fourth until a large crowd has congregated. Each person proceeds to relate whatever interesting development occurs in his business, on his street, or elsewhere during the week. Well, let me just finish. And past. Inevitably, such a discussion leads to Lashon Hara, lightheadedness. And who are to blame? The two who initiated the discussion. A wise man considered the ramification of the action before bear his actions. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, how overall, let's say you do get into this situation, right? I didn't reach Shmiras Halashon, but I ended up getting with 4 or 5 people, okay? Now, my question is like this. They're talking about nonsense, you just realize in the middle of conversation.
Stop. HaShem gave us brain. So just realize it's not true statement. So you see the people, that from the day one, they've been acting like that. So what do you mean you just realized? That's what they are. It's like the dog start barking. You realize the dog, but that's what they do. You understand? So many times, deep inside, the answer. Okay, go ahead.
Right. So before I didn't want to stop, but let's say the Gemara in Maseches Brachos came to me, and I thought about the day I'm going to die, so on and so forth, and now I want to switch the conversation. How does someone switch the conversation to the Divrei Torah? What does he say?
So first of all, you have to understand that there are some people who are allergic to the Torah. So whatever you say, they're not going to be interested. Or you can say, what do you want to say? It's not about some out of ordinary thing or whatever. I say I want to say what I learned today, what I learned yesterday. You understand? And you start, especially if you hit some controversial topics, it's I think the best. So they start. Actually, I don't know the best. At least it's the best to get the attention, but maybe they're going to speak even more Lashon Hara. So. Go ahead.
In general, though, do you think it's because you said about this controversial stuff, right? Do you think it's a waste of time for people to read these books about, let's say, I don't know, Rav Shach versus the Lubavitcher Rebbe? Let's say, you think that stuff's a waste? If that's his only Torah, right? Like Rabbi Reuven says, at least let it be some Torah. Would you even consider this as Torah Bichlal, or would you just say this is drama?
Some people cannot learn, and I know some people if you start to tell them the halacha, they would yawn and they was so weak and now everything is itchy stuff like that. But the story they can listen. So if you what I do if I meet these people and I have time, so I would tell them the story. But in the story I put all of the musar that I want. In a sense, I embellish on a story. But but story, where you get the story from? Alein Lashaber book. From one of this Rav Zilber book. So you start with a story, and then you veer to any side you want. You understand? That's approach. But how long you can hold this conversation until they go back to the original subject? I don't know. Depends on you.
So since you mentioned that about halacha, how does someone get someone interested in halacha? Because me, for example, I couldn't learn halacha at all, but now I realize not that halacha, I can't do this, I can't do that because everything's so restricted. Why? Because I don't know what's allowed, right? So when something isn't allowed, you think of it, everything is restricted. So I have to learn halachot to make my life easier. For everybody else, it's the other way around, though. So how do you get that?
One second. How is it the other way around?
Because they view everything as permissible, and they view when they're reading halachot forbidden.
Okay.
So how do you get them to think like you? How do you get them to,
It's a good question. So you start telling them some easy things that they never thought of. I give you this example. What I learned today, like simple. So for example, if you're washing your hands. So I finished to simanim, and I want to go back on washing of the hands, because when I learned, I saw that 1 time or 3 times is not enough. I have to go back. So it says clearly. So you have a bandage on your finger. You have a bandage, right? Probably you cut yourself. So if you put a pour on that hand less than revis, we said it's approximately 3+ ounces, right? So if you put less than that, so the water is going to be the water is going to purify the hand, but the water itself is going to be impure, tameh. So, and the water that is on a bandage, tameh. You understand? So if it's less than, so basically the Shulchan Aruch say, try if possible, to not to pour on a bandage. How is it practically possible? I don't know, right? So, or we'll put a lot, meaning revis on top, so that then everything excluded. No problem. So if bandage fell off, you have to put you will have to go and rewash the hands and stuff like that. So some things like that would be interesting to people. They know like a halacha in general, but they don't know the details, some intricate details. And then they start asking you a question, and they ask you a simpler question. Why do you tell them something like or it's something like more complex? They ask you a simple question, and that's how we have conversation.
Mm-hmm. Since you mentioned this about the water, but you're saying if it's more than a revius, the water is not tameh, right?
No.
Even on the bandage.
Yes, okay. Even on the bandage. So it's water more than revis or more. It's they compare it to the mikveh for halakhic purposes. Okay, so you start telling the person this. Of course, he did not know. Of course, I didn't know, even though I learned it some years ago. I just forgot because it's too much information. I don't know how is it practical, but I mean it is practical. So I mean you start talking to people and they get involved.
But this doesn't apply to Netilas Yadayim though in the morning.
No, it's Netilas Yadayim. Oh, in the morning.
I heard it's different.
Then you have 3 times, and here. No, it's not different. That's why we do it 3 times. That's exactly why we do it 3 times. So first you purify your hands, but the water is dirty. So it's here 2nd time, 3rd time. It's kabbalistically basically. 3 times it's kabbalistic. Here in the washing of the hands, practically one time is enough. You put revis on one hand, revis on another hand, it's enough. Or somebody can pour it from the cup from somewhere to your hands, right? With the vessel, whatever, with the vessel, of course. So, and you wash even with one revis both hands, and even 2 people. You put your hands. I put my hands underneath you. We can wash with one revis. Of course, after I'm going to get less than one revis. That's understandable, right? If it was only one revis in that container, but it's considered like our hands joined together if they close enough one to another, and there is no problem basically.
When I say Netilas Yadayim, I mean let's say you already washed your hands for rufra, right? And then you're washing your hands again because let's say you went to go use the bathroom after you washed.
Yes,
right? It's all the same size.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
No. Okay. Yeah. So after the bathroom, it's more lenient. It's more. I'm talking. Apologies. Maybe I confused. I'm talking about washing before bread. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry. Okay. Washing for that. Okay. So continue. So you start conversation like this. So everybody would be like, what? Interesting, right? Interesting. Okay. So continue. Our sages teach the righteous seek to find favor in every area in which they sinned. Right? Tanhum Parasha Beshalach. Okay. Therefore, the first step for one who has caused others to accept or speak Lashon Hara is to accustom himself not to seek among the groups who engage in idle discussion, contrary to his habit thus far. So basically, so if person was behaving like that, now he wants to do TeShuva. So don't go to this gathering. I mean, I like few weeks ago it happened to me. There is one cantor that sings so beautifully on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and then he was crying. Everybody were crying. And now on Shabbos he came to read Torah. It was substitute for somebody, right? And I was getting my coat, and he was talking baseball, very excited, talking about baseball on Shabbos. Looks like Moshe Rabbeinu minimum. You understand? So after you know that that's what he is, or other people they like to talk baseball. So after you heard one time, 2 times, 3 times, so what do you have to do with them? Understand? I mean, you just see how like they get excited, right? So just keep away from them.
Is it even a derabbanan to talk? To talk idle words on Shabbos, or no? Or it's not a derabbanan?
We say in a kiddush of the what is it? In the Shabbos day kiddush, and we're not going to not talk the mundane weekly things on Shabbos.
Mm-hmm. So it's something you should rebuke someone for, like one time, not constantly, or no?
I mean, if like I have this when I used to have many guests on Shabbos, so I try to talk on Torah only. But my wife, like she said, that's enough Torah, enough. People wants to talk whatever they know. So let them talk. So sometimes you're not allowed to be strict. You understand? They're overburdened like with Torah, and unfortunately, and some of them falling asleep. Like you see, like when you speak, people are falling asleep, right? And now they started talking about his job and how they lead this to Matt. And now he's like lying and like all awake, and he tells the whole story for 2 hours. Not 2 hours, I would interrupt, but basically you see that people they need it until they clean up their soul so much that they can accept Torah. It's not so easy. Torah, it's too pure. It's like somebody gave me I don't know, some lemon essence or something, like I don't know what was it, like. It was very, very strong. So somebody said it's very concentrated. Don't even try to smell it. And I said many years ago, I don't know how old was it. So I said no, I can smell it, right? And I smell it, and it was so concentrated. I almost like I felt like my brain is about to blow up. You understand? So that's for them Torah, for these people. So you have to be a little gentle. Don't give them too much. You understand?
I heard that the Rama actually says that you're allowed to on Shabbos, since it's Einig Shabbos, to talk about idle words.
Okay, that's it. It depends to whom. So about these books about biography and stuff like that, or tzaddikim. So if he's going to read newspaper or play baseball, or not baseball, like basketball or whatever he's going to play, or read that book, of course read that book. Or he's going to, I don't know, do some other thing, of course read that book. There is no question about it. It depends what HaShem is expected of you. You understand? So for one child, he does not expect much, unfortunately. He said, okay, just go play baseball. If you're not going to drive, you will just going to play baseball, basketball, whatever you're going to play. If you're not going to drive, that's good. You know, for him, it's a big level. But for other who is trying to be close to HaShem, that's a disgrace of Shabbos. Right? As you said, this Gemara about what Rav Hillel said, if what is Hil HaShem, if I walk a few steps, I don't want to. That's Hil HaShem. So that's, on his level, and we all always have to strive our best to be on that level. That's it. So don't look that somebody is driving. I'm not driving, but I play basketball. Okay, understand. Okay. So continue. Do not be a gossip monger among your people. It says Vayikra 19:16. This can be interpreted homiletically. Okay. Do not walk among your people. There is among groups where you are liable to repeat past sins. So you know that's what they do. They talk lashon hara. So between mincha and mariv, some people go to eat, some people don't go to eat. So I sit. I never go there. So I sit and learn. So but some clowns, they start talking very very loud. So I have to leave the shul. I have to go and learn outside. But unless you want to rebuke them, so just leave basically.
Rabbi, the Mesilas Yesharim says that, let's say, you should eat at a table, right, with like your level people, maybe a little bit lower, I think, right, something like that, and not go to a higher table. For example, let's say there's a table with rabbis and a table with bakrim. That's the example I'm going to use. Okay. Now, if you're at a table with bakrim, though, they're more likely to gossip or tell this or that, right, than the rabbis. So should I sit with the rabbis or should I sit with the bakrim?
You have to show me what did it say. Because I would say, well, maybe I missed that part, but I would say opposite. You have to go always. It says always dine. It's for perky always be around the tzaddikim, the rabbis, not with low life, because it's obvious. Well, what this lowly, not lowly, balabatim. I call them lowly, but I check to who is who. Sometimes you put the Google name. This guy is a professor in a medical college. Whoa, this guy is a professor in Kingsborough College. This guy is whoa, and but the way they behave, it's like I don't know. You understand? So just because they're very intellectual in the chemistry, or I don't know, this guy in medicine. So does not mean that I should sit with them. If you would strike the conversation and you can hold your line of Dvar Torah, absolutely, you're going to bring them up, absolutely. But if you're not ready, if the guy is going to interrupt you and you're going to get upset and just shut up and listen to him, that's not proper way. You understand? So don't go. I think the proper way to go to the rabbis, to sit with some non-knowledgeable people and ask them questions. Let them talk. Additionally, one should use the power of speech to arouse the brethren, to strengthen their commitment to the Torah. Exactly as you said. And the mitzvahs observed. And he should strive to bring peace among Jews. Okay. That's the thing that we must do. All right. So continue. So let's see. Okay, so we're on page 60. So we continue with Ikar and Tofel, right? So let's see, 60, we started with number 3. Tofel is mizoinus. Usually when mizoinus is eaten with another food, it is the other food that is being used to enhance mizoinus. Okay. For example, when one eats cracker and something with it, for example, cheese or tuna, one's intention is usually to eat the cracker for satiation. Okay. Therefore, the cheese and tuna is generally considered the enhancer and is covered by the Brachot on the crackers. However, if the cheese or tuna is not being eaten to enhance the cracker, 2 brachas are required, as discussed in section E3F. So the way I see it, I already stated my opinion, but unless it's like you explicitly know that you want, like cracker is the most important thing for you, so you should make 2 brachas. Understand? So tuna have an interesting taste. This cheese also, so to say that I eat this tuna or this cheese only because of the cracker. For me, it's far-fetched. I would not eat tuna because of the cracker.
Rabbi, let's say a lot of times, let's say a buffet type of place, okay? Let's say you get on your plate mazonos and you get eggs or something like that, okay? No, let's say two things that usually would be together, right? But really it's separate servings and you put them both on your plate.
Correct,
would you just have to make a mazonos as the ikra or no? Or would you have to make two separate brachos?
No. When you have mazonos, you always say bracha on mazonos.
I agree. I'm saying like this. Let's say there's pancakes and...
Oh, no. It's nothing ikra. It's like it's all of it is same level. You want to X for satiation. You like this X. You like this tuna. You like this salad. You like this and that. And you like this whatever this cookie or whatever you got, crackers or piece of cake. So those they're not considered to be same meal. Yeah, I mean it's same meal, but same dish basically.
Understood.
So one does not enhance the other. You like all of them. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
So let's say there's a place and they have potatoes and sausages both in one plate, right? And you take from that plate. And let's say really I don't want the sausages. The potatoes are just very good. I only make on the potatoes. The potatoes are considered.
Yes. Okay. So let's say the sausages are cut like small pieces. Right? Small pieces. So if you can eat in one fork full, two pieces, both of them, there is no problem. So you say, I want only this. This is majority. This is my liking, my preference. So that's it. You're right. In this situation, yes.
Understood.
So okay. So sometimes, so it's not like it's straightforward. This is this. This is black. This is white. Many times we have to. B'ezrat Hashem, I'll try to be like to give as many examples as possible. There are some situations, so it depends on the situation. In the same dish, you would do different burachas. Understand? So it depends on the situation. So continue. In cases where mazonos is being used to enhance the other foods, the mazonos is considered tofu. However, the mazonos product, a choshev, when in choshev we said important, hashuv, some pronounce hashuv, right? Even when they are used as enhancers, right? They do not become exempt from the bracha requirement. To illustrate, if one eats bowl of cottage cheese and garnish it with 2 crackers, the crackers are considered tofu, and borei minei mazonos will not exempt cottage cheese. However, these crackers, since the crackers are mazonos, they too require bracha. Okay, so I mean here, as we said, as like one example, nothing is primary, nothing secondary, and in some cases we're going to get to it. So we're going to go by majority. So whenever we have majority is a primary, and you make only 1 bracha, no, not 2 brachas. But in this case, of course, the cottage cheese in this example is majority, like only a few crackers. He said explicitly. But since mazonos is very, very important, so let's as a rule of thumb, so let's say if there is mazonos, you always say bracha. There are exceptions, but most of the time there is a rule. Okay.
Right, but is there ever a rule where, let's say you have more than a kazayas of shakel or whatever, okay? Like the cottage cheese, but then you have less than a kazayas of mazonos. Now, right, why is mazonos so chashuv? Because it fills you up, right? So is there ever a case in which we say, since the shakel, whatever it is a kazayas, and this mazonos obviously isn't being eaten to fill one up, it's not considered chashuv anymore? Do we ever say
No. Mazonos always chashuv, always. So as a product, so the size that doesn't make any difference, the volume. But after you finish, since you didn't eat enough to say that the bracha of mazonos, so you say varei nefashos. So let's say just to change your example, right? So he had this cottage cheese, let's say 3/4 of the ounce, and half an ounce he had this mizonos, so you can join together. And of course, it's not enough to say less than the mizonos, but it's enough combined because they're solids. Solids are combined in order to make the after blessing. Solids and liquids do not combine. So if you ate a little piece, whatever you ate, and you drink just a little of coffee, or you stretch it and it took you a very long time, so you basically do not make a bracha.
So I had this question. So when do we say, if I combine how much bread and how much mazonis do I make Birkas Hamazon? Meaning, I have 4 ounces of mazonis and half a kazayas of bread. Do I say Birkas Hamazon? Because both are half the amount I need to make Birkas Hamazon, and I have 2 halves, so it should be Birkas Hamazon, no?
I think so, yes. In this case, yes. Okay, exception. In the following cases, tofu, which is mizonos, will be covered by the bracha on the ikar. Okay, so we go to exceptions. Okay. Rice. Although the bracha on rice, baremine mizonos, it still does not have the chashuk in the 5 mizonos grains. The rice is used as an enhancer. If the rice is used as an enhancer, it is covered by bracha on food. It enhances and does not require separate baremine mizonos. So on rice, we say baremine mizonos. Some say it is a. I think we have explained, but just to remind ourselves, right? Some people say that it's hadama. Okay. Some people, maybe in the poskim say directly hadama. Some people, people who wants to be stringent and try to go by all of the opinions, so they would taste some real hadama, whatever is it, piece of tomato, right? And they eat some real mizonos, which is cracker, and only after that they would eat the rice. So to cover all of the bases. Is it necessary? No, but okay. So one more time, if rice is a secondary, it's only to to enhance flavor. So it's 100% secondary. Okay, continue.
Rabbi, I heard that there's an opinion. I want to know how big this opinion is. That let's say someone makes bari nefeshes before he makes al hamichya, it covers al hamichya b'diavad.
Only if he did not know that he's going to do al hamichya. But if he was intended today to say al hamichya, and by mistake he started then whatever was in his head, and he switched to bari nefashos, so it's definitely a mistake, and he still kind of say on this mizonos.
Understood.
Understand? So that's but whatever you said, it is true if he said only one bracha and forgot about al hamichya. Forgot for whatever reason, he forgot, he didn't know he ate enough, not enough, this and that. So basically, in this case there is no problem. So as you said, b'diavad, it is good, but it's only b'diavad. Okay. B, mizonos eaten as absolute tofu. Mizonos product that is eaten as absolute tofu is covered by the Brachot on ikar, as explained in 8.3. Okay, if it's possible to have it, I don't know. But okay. So if it's absolute tofu. Okay. So continue. See, mizonos eaten in a non-significant manner. Mizonos products which are eaten in a non-significant manner are not considered choshuv and are covered by the bracha on the ikar. For example, most people would eat ice cream cones to enhance taste of the ice cream. Therefore, the ice cream would require shechakol, and the cone, even though it is tofu, will require baremine mizonos. Right? However, before we continue, so let's try to understand. So we say mizonos eaten in non-significant manner. So usually people, like if we take this first scenario, if with this ice cream, so I think like this ice cream cone were very, very delicious. I don't know. It's not like I eat them every day, but I remember that they were very nice, right? They were very tasty. So to say that I only eat ice cream cone because it's ice cream, it's not true. I mean, I like this and this. So if you like both of them and you enjoy, I think if you're not finicky person, as they say, so it's good. You just say 2 blessings and you cover it. You understand? But like I said, however, if on one were to use the ice cream cone merely to in the place of cup, there is to hold the ice cream and keep his hands from becoming soiled, rather than to enjoy the flavor. The cone would not require separate bracha. So basically, if just to hold the cone, and of course, while you're eating like a cone on top, the ice cream went inside, right? Melted, whatever, it went inside of the cone. So the only way for you to get to ice cream inside of the cone is to eat the cone. So you have one blessing. But, okay. And unless people are very specific, like me personally, if it's food and it's not spoiled, it's nice. I mean, what not to like it? Okay. But we must know that's 2 opinions, but both of them are valid. Go ahead.
Let's say his kavana is I only want the ice cream, okay? But if I have cone, I'll have some cone. So this is my thing, okay? Let's say someone doesn't actually bite, doesn't eat the cone, okay? But the thing is, he gets to the rim of the ice cream, right? Next to the cone. And so now he's at least licking the cone with the ice cream, okay?
Yeah,
does he have to make a bracha on just licking it?
No. Because he shows this from your example with his behavior. That's not what he wants. That's not his goal. That's not what he. Right?
So we don't make a bracha when just tasting something.
No. Now you're switching the subject. We do making bracha while tasting. For example, you cook in soup or whatever you cook, right? And let's say it's not hot, it's not whatever. So you just you added spices. So basically, it's almost ready. Or you want to just feel if you need the more spice. Of course, you make a bracha. I would say maybe you don't make a bracha if you're going to spit it out. Maybe like she or he that does not want to eat for whatever reason, not allowed to eat. For example, I give you a good example. I think on 9th of Av, right? We should fast, but on one hand, but on the other hand, like after afternoon, so you're allowed to cook. So, for example, she has small children. Children are not obligated to fast. She has an old elderly grandfather, so he also not obligated to fast. They basically can eat, but these people cannot cook by themselves. So this lady has to cook for them, and she must taste whatever she does, right? So since she knows that she tastes and spit it out in permissible manner, so she does not make a blessing. You understand? So when you spit it out, it's not considered that she derives any pleasure.
So we say, let's say she tasted meat, but spit it out. She doesn't have to wait 6 hours to have dairy.
That's a big controversial. So I don't know. Let's not go into a different topic. So let's stay on this topic. So the original question was if you need to make a blessing on a tasting, and we said yes, unless you're going to spit it out. Okay. Single entry mixture. Okay, that's what we were talking about before. When various foods are combined into mixture, which is considered a single entity, only one bracha that is over ikar is required. Determine the appropriate bracha for the mixture involves 2 issues. So if it's one dish, right? It's one dish, meaning if it's mixture is, as we said, meaning that you're going to eat it in 1/4 full, right? So, but if it's like huge pieces, it's not mixture. Okay. Issues. So two issues. What? First, we must determine the mixture in question is considered a single entity. So first of all, we have to say that it's single entity. So if you have a piece of chicken and you have potatoes and asparagus, it's not mixture. It's separate things. You understand? So mixture is something like a salad or something like a stew, but stew with small pieces of potatoes, and small pieces of meat. That's the mixture. If you have bigger pieces, it's not mixture. This issue dealt with in this section, so determine the mixture. Right? After we have established that a particular mixture is indeed considered a single entity, we must determine which ingredients is the ikar. Okay. This issue is dealt with the next section, section B. Okay, so now let's start definition of mixture. Definition. We use the term single entity to connote the mixture of a different food combined into single physical mass, which is intrinsically a single entity, or combined in such a way that is halachically considered a single entity. So intrinsically, I would say, what would be example, like egg salad, right? So you put eggs, right? You took eggs, you took chop these onions, and you mix them, and you put mayo, so it's single entity. I agree. You cannot say you cannot tell where is the onions and where is the eggs. Okay, but halachically is as we said, the small pieces. Even though you see he's tomatoes and this is cucumber, this is onions, but it's a single mixture. Okay, continue. An example of the mixture, which is intrinsically one entity, is a drink made of two different juices. Okay, that's an amazing example. To illustrate, if grape juice, was mixed with apple juice, shechakol, since each one is originally distinct juices combined to form a new entity, only one bracha is now required for a new compound. G. Commentary. The definition of compound is any mixture where the parts combine to form one substance. For example, salt into water. So basically, an example that they give, it's like I think it's a perfect example. So now you cannot tell apart, right? If you mix two mixtures to liquids, you cannot tell apart which is what, right? Okay, a new identity is determined by whichever ingredients is ikar. If, for example, ikar is apple juice, shechakol is required. Okay. I don't think it's a good example. On the other hand, I'm thinking it's not a good example, and I'll tell you why. So most of the time, when you add too much of other juice, right? What is too much? It depends on the juice that you use, and maybe even 30%. You add another juice, so this grape juice loses its identity as wine. Even the smell is wine, but it's not wine. It's already you cannot say replica geffen. You understand? Or half of it. That depends on the juice, basically. Okay, so there it's clearly most likely it's shechakol unless you add just a little of this apple juice. But it's just a side note. But I think the example in general they give it's a good example. A mixture can also be halachically deemed single entity when even though the distinct ingredients are not combined into single physical mass. Okay. Explanation. This can occur when distinct ingredients are cooked or baked into single mixture. For example, chicken chow mein. What did you choose? Chicken chow mein. Okay. Okay. That mixture is considered a single entity. 1 second. Somebody wants to try. Oh no. Okay, sir. That mixture is considered a single entity and required only one bracha. Okay, this mixture is considered a single entity. So this chow mein, because we can eat with one fork full, and that's what it is. That is on the ikar. But I think in a chicken chow mein, I'm not sure. What is chicken chow mein with some pasta or not?
Yeah, it's with the Chinese noodles and chicken. That's the.
Oh, noodles. Okay, so on noodles you always say mizonis, obviously. Okay. That's what I saw. Yeah, noodles. Okay. That Misha is considered a single entity and required only one bracha. That is on the ikar. Okay, as we said before. This can also occur when distinct ingredients are cut into small pieces and mixed together. For example, vegetable combined to create salad, or fruit combined to create a fruit cocktail. Okay, that's I think better example. Because when you have bizoiness, it's not for me, it's not a good example always. That mixture is also considered a single entity and required only one bracha. That was only ikar. So okay, so let me check that. So basically, with this fruit cocktail, so fruit they call fruit, right? But it could be this what is it? This what is it? What do you call it? Some this what is it? What do you call it? This doesn't matter. So basically, in this fruit cocktail, it could be some or even majority of the vegetables that require borei, and minority is borei, right? So you have to decide.
Oh, sorry, you meant pineapple?
Like cantaloupe or something, right?
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. But pineapple is another example. Yeah, but usually you see, since pineapple is so like sharp taste, they usually don't put a lot. So it's only a few pieces because I mean, but the cantaloupe is more like more neutral that they usually like and cheaper. I think that's why they put the majority. I think. Okay, continue. Ingredients which are recognizable and distinct. Most poskim rule that even those mixtures in which the ingredients are recognizable and distinct are nevertheless considered single entity. Okay. Which thus stews, casseroles, and the like consisting of the small pieces mixed together required only one bracha, since such mixtures are considered to be a single entity. So I just want to add to whatever they said here. I mean, there is a commentary, but it's not only single entity, but it's single dish also, right? And but so of course you have this salad and you see these olives and you see like clearly a piece of tomato. It's not like you're blind and you don't see what's going on. All this casserole, you see all of these ingredients in it, right? But still one entity. Okay, so commentaries say it's H. I'm on page 63. Some poskim rule, however, that foods which are recognizable and distinct, if cooked together, cooked together, are not considered a single entity. According to this opinion, one is required to make separate brachas on the various components of the stew or cholent. If one wishes to fulfill this minority opinion, a recommended procedure is as follows. So we have to understand. So this opinion, I think, it's only minority and to drive people crazy, I think, because it's very possible that a person would be making unnecessary brachas. You understand that it's not required. So in this case, I would say don't go by this stringency, go by not linear, but by majority opinion, and don't do stringency. For example, as we said yesterday, what to add the stringency, what to not add, to stand in the same manner that you stand for Shmona Esrei, for repetition Shmona Esrei. So even if you do it, you don't do it. So basically, you didn't break any rules, right? No punishment. But here, if this minority opinion is wrong, it's not good. Basically, you understand. So person were making like maybe 2 or 3 unnecessary brachas, which is bad.
Right. So just one more thing to clarify the most poskim. So we say that what goes by is majority if it's if there's a lot of stuff mixed up, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So meaning it's a one entity and one bracha my okay. On the main thing is required. So let's. I don't want to give too much information because I want to go by step. So maybe we're going to say what was the ikar in this case. Maybe it's majority. Maybe what you like. Maybe. So it's not always majority.
Does it ever go by which one you can taste the most? For example, let's say.
But which one you say? I missed. Which one is?
I'll give you an example. Okay. Let's say there's equal because we're saying in this fruit bowl, right? Let's say there's hadama and there's ha'etz, and you want each one equally, so on and so forth. We just go by the ikar. Agree? But by the majority, right? So let's say
or whatever you like more. So okay, you see, I don't want to confuse it since we didn't get to it. But okay, so let's say at this point. So let's say at this point by majority. Okay, to make it easier for argument's sake. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so my question is like this: does it ever go by? Let's say I have corn and I have hot dog. Okay, small pieces of hot dog and corn. Okay, right? And in this case, the corn is the majority. Okay, now I want each one as much as I do. Right, the same amount. Okay, but the thing is, the hot dog has a much the taste is much stronger, meaning you can feel the taste of the hot dog, and the corn is, it's really an additive. So in this case, maybe you make it on the hot dog, even though the corn is the majority.
So if it's mixed together, right? You have like this hot dog chopped into small pieces, right? That mixed with the corn. I never test these dishes. I never saw it, but just for hypothetically speaking, right? So if it's possible. So you should make one blessing. So if you like this hot dog, for example, and you just eat this corn for satiation, and it's one more time, it's not too like corn, and then on the side you have the hot dog, like even chopped into pieces. You have all of this. It's mixed. It's one entity. So in this case, you should make only one blessing. On what? We're going to discuss. You want to do it on majority? No problem. If you eat the corn, you eat because of this hot dog. You make on a hot dog.
Okay, so I'll rephrase the question a bit. So let's say we have equal amount of this and equal amount of that. Okay, completely equal. Now, let's say if this one just has a stronger taste. That's all. Not meaning I like this one more than that one. But I'm saying when you eat the dish together, right? You can obviously taste the hot dog much more than you can the corn, for example. Okay. And so in this case, even though I want both the same amount and both are the same, same quantity, I make it on the hot dog because you feel the taste more, or no?
No, not because of the taste. I would say if we said before, if that's what your preference, right? That's yes, you make on halal, but otherwise no, just because of the taste. No. But what is this taste that plays out? I'm going to tell you where the taste in general plays a big role. Like something like even small minority, but because of the taste, it's different halacha. Tell you why. So and usually, right, if you have mixture, so something is permitted, something is prohibited. So they say that biblical, if majority is permitted, or majority of permitted thing, okay, no problem. So that's then the whole mixture is permitted. If right, but rabbinical it's 1 to 60. So it's if you have permitted to 60 parts of the forbidden, so it says that it's nullified, and it's like it's not there, so you can eat it. Okay, that's very interesting. Our rabbis come and say, but if you can still taste the taste of that of this forbidden thing, for example, it's very spicy, whatever spice is it, right? So or you can smell, then that did not nullify. So in this case, the taste and the smell is play big role, but not in this case. Okay.
Very quickly, would having meat, let's say for Ashkenazim, would having meat 4 hours, having dairy 4 hours after meat, that would be Derabanan or Deraisa?
No, 6 hours. 6 hours.
Yeah, but I'm saying, let's say they had it 4 hours. I'm saying, which one would I get? Which of it, Derabanan or Deraisa?
No, it's a Derabanan for sure.
So when's it deraisa? It's never a deraisa when I have.
No, it's not deraisa, for sure not.
Got it.
I'm not sure. That's a good question. What is it with the deraisa?
The deraisa is only
Maybe the deraisa do not eat together. So basically, it's I think what we do for so if you want to eat I don't know what do you want to eat? You want a cheese, you want a coffee with milk, for example, and you just finished and you decided you want a piece of cold cuts or whatever you want, right? So it's enough for you just to rinse your mouth very good from the taste, so you don't have that taste of the cheese or whatever of this. I'm talking about soft cheese, right? Soft cheese, right? And you just rinse your mouth and you eat something hard or whatever hard, whatever you like. Of course, it's should be paref, right? And right after that, you can start eating meat, basically. But some people they say no, they want to go stringent, and they eat wait 30 minutes. Somebody 30 minutes, 1 hour. I mean, I think the most accepted view is 30 minutes later. But basically, it's not necessary. So only if it's one that you want to go stringently.
Just if you want to, if you'd like to check later, I'm pretty sure that the actual deraisa is cooking it together. No.
Yeah, cooking together. Yes.
Oh, cooking together is deraisa. Okay, understood. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
But they say no, it's one deraisa. There are three deraisas about this mixture. One deraisa is cooking together. Another deraisa is deriving benefit from the mixture. So when you have this mixture in your mouth, so you derive the benefit. So that's another thing. Okay. So try to continue. That mixture is also considered a single entity and requires only one brachot on the ikar. Okay, so we said that. Okay, I apologize about it. I missed it. So we're on this commentary age. So it says if you wanna, it's like some minority opinion say that this mixture is no mixture, and you have to make all of the individuals blessing. But okay, so let's read what they do, like what they recommend. If one wishes to fulfill the minority opinion, a recommended procedure would be as follows. First, make Brachot dama on vegetables. Next, make shechakol on a separate shechakol item, not taken from the stew, with intention to exempt the stew meat. Okay, so let's continue. Regarding the removing tofu and making the bracha on it first, see F3. So we're going to get to F3. So basically, it's not proper. I mean, you're trying to circumvent the system. Okay, so here they say very interesting approach. So he said Brachot dama on vegetable, on piece of potato from the stew, and then he says shechakol on something else. You understand? So in some sense, he's not like it's not that he's making two blessings on the same mixture, but that's his intention. But if we say that if he would say this shechakol on the whole mixture, that's not, he's exempt. Or he said Brachot dama on that mixture, that he's exempt. So basically, it's not that bad, as we said before. So I take my words back. So in this case, it's not so bad. So if he said the blessing shechakol on a drink, let's say, you understand? So it's not that bad. But if this meat was a majority or shechakol in this whatever dish was majority, so why would you say on chadama basically? Okay. All right. So let's try to finish this section. B, eaten together in a single spoonful. Not all foods cooked or mixed together are deemed a single entity. Only when the pieces are small and usually eaten together with a single spoonful, is the mixture deemed to be single entity. For example, finely sliced stew, where the meat and the vegetables are eaten together in a single spoonful. That's right, spoonful, forkful. Okay. So I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
In regards to, let's say, chalent. Now, I know the din for chalent is if the potatoes are big, you have to make hadama, so on and so forth.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
So the thing is like this: the barley is very, very small. Agreed?
Size small or amount is small?
Size, right?
Size. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So the thing is like this: we say 1 spoonful. Okay, so great. On my spoonful, I could have like 3 pieces of barley and 1 big potato and make 1 bracha mazonos, no?
No. So they're not mixture. So they have to be mixed and plus eaten in 1 spoonful.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things together. Yeah. But here's the thing: if potato, as you said, it's too big, it's not going to fit on your fork, right? It's too much. So you would cut a little piece and take whatever. So that's already it's indication that it's not a mixture.
Mm-hmm. So we talked about Shabbos halacha before about sifting, okay? And we said, let's say I have pebbles, right? Small rocks inside. It doesn't count as a mixture if I get the rocks out of there or whatever, right? Agreed? No small pieces, pebbles, whatever you want to say. No, something very small, but you could separate them with your hand.
Well, I apologize. In food, you have some pebbles.
No. I'm explaining like this. I'm just saying the malacha of sifting. I'm going to Shabbos right now. I'm explaining why. Okay, we have sifting, right? And we say if they're pebbles, right?
Yes.
You're allowed to take them out since they're not considered a mixture. Agreed?
Okay. No. I need more details. In order to agree, I need to more details. So what is the pebbles? Please give me more details. What are you talking about?
Okay, let's say let's say there's soup, right? Okay. And then there are big pieces of carrots, and you take out the carrots. It's not considered sifting when you only have the water, for example. That.
Okay, no. It's not sifting. It's separating. It's what is it? It's a different milach. So we're not allowed to separate, but concept is the same basically. So you separate good. You're not allowed. It's a borel, right? It's sorting. So you're not allowed to separate bad from good. But you're allowed. I mean, it's the whole topic. I don't want to go into it right now because we need to finish. But you're allowed to separate good from bad. Or you're allowed to separate bad with a little good mixture. So if fly falls into your cup, so you're allowed to take spoon. Cup is a little juice, whatever you had in a cup, and throw the fly. So in this case, it's not separate. But if person would take a fly and shake all of the liquid from the fly, so that's the problem.
Yeah, because my question is going to be, I assume because the definition halachically of a combination, right, in regards to sifting or borer or anything like that, must be different than it is over here for halachas and brachas. So when does something count as combined? Because I just gave you an example where you can put it on 1 spoonful, right? The potato and a few pieces of
combined. So I tell you this, right? So for example, you have a bowl of nuts, right? And nuts combined, they're not combined. But if you have like allergy or whatever on the cashews, so that's basically not good for you. So you cannot move them out.
I agree with you, but that's in regards to Shabbos. I'm saying in regards to food, making a bracha, right? Ikr, toffel, all of that. What is a food considered a combination? Because it must be different than for Shabbos. For Shabbos, it must be different.
Okay, apologies. I mean, we're jumping from topic to topic. Okay. So I'm trying to follow you when you jump. Okay, so we said if it's small pieces, and if you can eat spoonful, right? Single spoonful, you have this, and that. Maybe not all the time, but technically you can. So for example, this example that you gave about barley, as you said, maybe 1 or 3 barleys are going to be maybe 1, maybe 0 barleys, right? But technically they're small enough, pieces small enough, so to have a barley only in your full spoonful. So in this case, it would be 100% mixture.
Oh, so even if there's a big piece of potato and there's a few pieces of barley, it would be
no. If in one spoon, if you don't have to cut the potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, yes, it's a mixture. So even though you're right, potatoes pieces much bigger than barley. I mean, right? That's understandable. But things, they will cook together, and we can eat it with 1 spoonful. It's a mixture, yes.
But if they weren't cooked together, I'd have to make a different bracha, even if they'd be on.
If for example, you have separate entries on your plate. You put this, that, so that they're not combined. How can you combine it?
So I agree with you, but I saw in Rav Avadia that let's say I have beans, right, and rice together. I combine the 2. Okay. I heard then I only make 1 bracha.
No, sorry, that's not what I said. I said you have 2 entries on 1 plate. Here 1 and here another 1. But if you combine them together, they become 1 dish. No.
Okay, I understand now. Okay.
You're switching the target. It's like moving targets. Yes. Okay. So if you combine them together, absolutely. That doesn't. You're right. That's what you do. Same we do as we said before. Example was this. What is it? Egg salad. Egg salad. You cook eggs. Right, you chop onions, which are raw, and you add mayo, right? All the 3 were only combined together. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So let's try to finish up. If, however, the various components are not eaten in 1 spoonful, for example, roasted chicken and whole potatoes, they are not deemed a small entity. So if you need start chopping now, like cutting in your plate with a knife, so it's not a single entity. And 2 brachas are required. No, mixtures of liquids and solids, such as chicken soup with noodle, are not considered single entity. One more time. Single liquids and solids, like a chicken soup with noodles, are not considered a single entity. It's not mixed, right? Similar distinct salads, one on top of another, for example, tuna on a cracker, right, or eaten in a sandwich fashion, are not considered single entity. This type of combination dealt with section E. Without HaShem, we're going to get to section E, but I need to explain before we stop, right? So if you have liquid and you have your soup and you have vegetables in the soup, they're not combined. How they combine? Even you see, it is true. You eat them in 1 spoonful. It is true, 100%. Nobody argues with that. But they are not mixed together. It's like you have I don't know on your plate, right? You have this salad. You have vegetable salad, and you have like rice. Right, and you put some rice on you, and you fork and you add some salad. They're not combined. That's separate entities. All right, so let's stop here. B'ezrat Hashem. Any comments? Okay, you're good. All right, Baruch Hashem. So let's start. So it was Baruch Hashem and Azaz a week, and let's continue to go from strength to strength until Sunday. B'ezrat Hashem. Thank you. Good job.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל אשר יפנו ישכילו ויצליחו. לזכור, לעשות כאלה וכאלה. הודיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה.
איפה הוא גר?
בפלורידה.
פלורידה. איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
במיימי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעבירו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
כן.
אני